Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it to another episode of Unscripted Gaming. My name is Ray, and with me today is, what's your name?
I don't remember my name.
It does happen
I woke
sometimes.
up in the Russian, waste outside of the Cosmodrome, and I don't know who I am anymore. But as I'll learn, maybe that's okay, and maybe I'll find purpose fighting for a different world that I never got to see, and now I'll get to know. And I guess that's just my destiny.
Wow. How long were you saving that one?
Completely ripped that right off the top of the head.
Well, I like it.
That's why
you
they
did.
pay. That's why they pay me the buku bucks for, the GMing I do. I do not get any buku bucks, to be clear. I'm open to the idea.
Sure.
I'm
Aren't
open
we
to
all?
it. The production value would be increased, but
I think, based on everything that's happened today and last week and kind of in the last month, this might just be exclusively a Bungie episode. Josh is not here, by the way. He had something he had to do. I don't know.
he's
what it
trapped
is. I
in a
hope he's
Murphy
all right.
bed as usual.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's Stuff's not going great.
Damn.
At the valuable, venerable, honorable studio of Bungie.
Yeah, so we're recording this on May 21st, and earlier today, Bungie, on like their This Week in Destiny blog that they've done forever, just officially said that, hey, we're done with Destiny 2. We're gonna get one more update. They're putting Sparrow Racing League back in, and that's how you know. That's how you know if this is the end of Mice and Men, or you're hearing the saxophone music. If you're white, I think you just hear Hotel California instead of saxophones.
Goodness.
But that's how you know if Sparrow Racing League's coming back.
Wasn't the last time that was there was like Destiny 1?
Yeah.
If I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was playing Destiny 1 back when Sparrow Racing League was a thing.
Yep.
Jeez.
That's how
I
you
didn't
know.
think about that earlier,
That's how you know.
and that just hit me. Like, man, wow. That was like 10
So
years
they
ago
announced
or something.
that that is they are considering. I should pull this up. I don't have it pulled up yet. Basically, just that like
They're ending. They kind of popped the news out of nowhere. They're not doing any more like enhancements to the story. They're not doing any more like major beats. They're like, hey, wherever the story is right now, that's it. As of, if I read the article, or if I remember the article correctly, it's like June 9th, 2026.
yeah,
We are in maintenance mode.
yep. Like their post says, as focus turns toward a new beginning for Bungie, we will begin work incubating our next game. To that end, on June 9th, 2026, we will release a final live service content update for Destiny 2 to begin that new journey as a studio. We will ensure that Destiny 2 remains playable, just as the original Destiny is today. Many changes in this final update will aim to ensure Destiny 2 is a welcome place for players to return to. Let's see here. There was one thing.
I do like that they're not like obliterating the game. That's cool.
And if we really get into the nitty gritty of it, I think this update is actually going to reverse some of the least popular things that have plagued the game, I think, since around like the Edge of Fate expansion happened last summer. Like there's something called the Portal that people do not like. That is has been scrapped to bring back the director with like the solar system and stuff.
Okay.
But one turn of phrase here is interesting. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, it has become clear that after the final shape, we've reached the time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2. So, so that's kind of that's the Destiny themselves saying, like what they're saying here. Basically, like Destiny 2 is technically ending, but there's Destiny in some way will seem to will continue to exist in some way, which everyone immediately interpreted to be, oh, they're making Destiny 3, which I was like, I'd love that. That seems optimistic, and unfortunately, I believe I am correct.
Yeah, I was talking with one of my other friends who is he's my British friend. If he's listening to this, he knows exactly who I'm talking about. He's also a hashtag Destiny sicko, and he said, well, maybe they're working on Destiny 3. And I said, is this before or after they laid off half of their studio last year?
Yeah.
Under what rock are they finding an extra 300 developers to work on a live service game? And with what money that Sony just took away from them are they going to make Destiny 3?
Yeah, because there was a couple weeks ago, there was like a bit long and short. They basically like adjusted the valuation of Bungie on their books to be like, hey, just because we paid $3.9 billion for Bungie, it does not mean we should probably update our books to say that we do not think Bungie is worth that much. So it's like not a one-to-one Bungie is like, plummeting like a rock, but it's not the most encouraging news, I would imagine. I don't think that is something that happens if things are going super well, generally.
Yeah, normal depreciation value of company valuation is about, when you have a large tech company, it's about 2 to 5% year over year. If you have like a tangible physical good, like an airplane, it's like 10%, because wear, tear, blah, 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 upkeep, maintenance, fuel. They just said, wow, we've had this company for a couple of years, and that is 1/4, 25% valuation drop, depreciation valuation drop, which is that doesn't. Some people will hear that and think like, well, does that mean they're going to lose money? It doesn't mean they're going to immediately lose money. It's not like Sony just like took that money away from them. It basically means that if Bungie wanted to take out a loan to start paying for their employees or their benefits or upkeep of the studio, they can't borrow as much money against the studio as originally they could have, because Sony wrote down a massive depreciation against them.
Right.
So yeah.
But yeah,
it's sad. It's really sad, actually. Yeah. That sucks.
So, but yeah, then the speculation was, oh, they're doing they're going to take some time away to like work on Destiny 3, which I think Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg just said, not true, because after ending development on Destiny 2, Sony's Bungie will likely lay off staff and focus on Marathon rather than jumping directly to Destiny 3. Bungie staff are pitching and prototyping new projects, including in the Destiny franchise, but none have been greenlit yet. So I think considering what we know about like the population of the studio right now, again, they are probably again, like Marathon has come, it received a lot of critical praise. I like it. Maybe does not have like, definitely needs some kind of like TLC and some good support to like keep a good healthy base there. And Sony, I think, has come out and said that they are like, Marathon maybe did not hit the targets that they were hoping for, but they're like, are not going to pull the plug immediately, and generally like for the direction that things are going. But I guess like for one thing, I was like, again, foolish. I was like, yeah, I don't hate this where Destiny 2 is coming to like a definitive end state. This game has been we've kind of talked about this on the podcast before, I think, at some point, right? Like, do they just stop working on Destiny 2 entirely to make Destiny 3? Do they just never make Destiny 3? What do they do? And now it just seems like neither of those things are happening, and I was like, oh damn, okay.
I don't think if I was to make a bet, I don't think Destiny 3 is anywhere in the future, like not in the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
I think they have, and I'm not saying this negatively, but it'll sound negative. I think they have squeezed the blood from that stone dry. I think they've gotten like all of the lore content. I know I've read and I've heard some people saying, but what about the 9? And it's like, listen, there's like maybe 1 million people on this planet that are really, really gung-ho about the concept of a Destiny 3 where it focuses on the 9. I'm not saying that negatively. I'm saying Bungie, whatever they make next, it needs to be one of the biggest slam dunks ever to save their studio. They either need to make like a lot of really okay small games, or they need like they need Halo. Basically, they need some kind of world-renowned game, because they did, at least for the next couple, weeks or whatever. They're a studio of about 800 people, just about, supporting 2 different games, and both of them are live service, and that means both of them have a lot of upkeep to them. And it is really difficult to pull human beings off of a live service game to focus on another game, because you're making sure that the live service game is bringing in whatever money that it can and the support structure that it needs. And it is they have fallen into the trap of having your studios only focus on live service games. Saying as someone that used to work at a studio that only focused on live service games,
it's hard to build a plane and then fly it at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah. One last thing, that I want to hear your point on this. I can attest to this as someone that has had to sunset, or I've been on the team where we were about to sunset a live service game. You don't sunset a live service game with 2.5 weeks notice unless something exploded, or you are exploding, or something like that. Or the CEO came in and said, I have a funny story. I can't tell you what game it was for. The CEO of Wargaming one time flew to a studio for a game that had been in development for a long time. And the CEO sat down with the GM in their office and they said, okay, it's been a long time. What is the actual date you plan to release this game? And I don't know what answer the GM gave them, but immediately an all hands was called and the CEO said, we're shutting down the studio. It's funny in hindsight. This happened like 8 years ago.
Surely if I just, surely, what's the worst he could say? Oh, well, that's
it was like the answer that he gave him must have been like the worst possible number he could have given him, because he said, all right, we are pulling the plug. And that might have been what happened here. Someone might have told them like, hey, Sony just did an impairment loss on your studio. Here are the numbers for how many people are playing Destiny 2 right now on a Saturday. We'll pretend they did this last weekend. Here are the numbers for how many people are playing Marathon right now on the Saturday. What are we looking at? And I don't know, maybe their CFO looked at that and said, I'm going to be real with you. Here's what we need to do. And maybe that's what happened here, which is odd and speaks to like a level of mismanagement I can't describe. You don't do this to a big live service game. This is not, it's normally a 6-month leeway time. And you have it written into your terms of service that when the game goes away in about 6 or 8 months to a year, this is what we're going to do. And everyone kind of is like, okay, you know what? We've had a good time. We've had fun. This is a shotgun blast right here.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to get the inside scoop on like what drove this, like, really. I mean, not to like, I guess we should like focus on some of the details here before I really start to wax poetic and like get all emotional. But I don't think it is in, like, I'm the official Destiny correspondent of Unscripted Gaming, right? Let me just take a look here. So let's take a look at Destiny's. Now, if we're being really like really particular here, let's see. Like, I'm going back through like Destiny's kind of player counts here.
Yeah,
that was Echoes, Light Ball. Yeah, so so basically, ever since the final shape, when did that come out again? Was that 24?
It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it was like
24. June. So like that is the player counts for Destiny are like the highest that they are ever at the release of Destiny 2, the final shape. And frankly, that's the last major expansion I really seriously played. And for me, and like it just timed out well, where like I had two daughters, both very much like in very critical phases of their lives that just require a lot of attention in a way that is like, if you have kids that are like 1 and 3, you'll understand. And that timed out with like with the final shape, and I played it. I loved it, and it was like, it worked out weirdly enough that it was like, I think I'm really good, honestly. Like, I really enjoyed this. I really liked it. This was a really awesome conclusion to like this arc that they built out with like the Witness, which was super cool stuff. Just like, I think I'm good. This was great. This was like, just really ended on a like, it kind of worked out for me to like decisively end on a high note. Now, if I really try not to be Mr. Steam Charts, because but if like we're talking about like a business kind of discussion here, right? Yeah. It's kind of unmistakable to look at the pretty significant drop off that happens after that. And every subsequent expansion has not come nowhere close, and has not generally been super well received. Edge of Fate had a very big kind of reset and restructuring. It's really kind of a bummer that like the last major expansion for Destiny 2 quite suddenly is something that is kind of a half, like a weird kind of Star Wars brand synergy thing.
Yeah,
which
man.
is just like, that's it just like is so kind of,
it's like clawing.
It's like a real kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. Like, I played the first mission of that campaign earlier today out of curiosity, and it's like, I kind of see like it's like echoes of Star Wars. It's like, oh, like here's the ghosts, or like Drifter's ghost can't talk and just makes beeps and boops, like R2-D2, and I'm like, okay, like it's kind of rhyming in some kind of cute ways, but just like, this doesn't feel like Destiny in that way, and it just feels odd. And again, there's a lot of stuff that the core community had not really liked about some of the new systems, and people frankly just like, I think like people paying like for the annual expansion, not really loving what they're hearing. Definitely they've kind of also been like mum on the long-term plan for a while. Like, I think if again, I'm not sweating bullets about like, a roadmap because plans change. But there was a roadmap at one point that had been promised by, the Destiny dev team that mysteriously never quite appeared. So I would not be surprised if I think some of this stuff had been kind of in the plans for a long time, because usually the summer is when we get the first kind of inklings of like, hey, here's going to be the news about the next expansion, like, or they kind of start doing the ramp up for that press around like old E3 time, if you're a millennial and know what that is. So
you're thinking that this you think the opposite, that this was not a sudden thing. This was something like, hey, the studio is about to just get drop kicked.
I mean, I guess we'll find out for sure, but I think if you look at like what things probably looked like on their side from Final Shape on, and how either that the kind of next new era expansions did not really hit at all, or hit really well, like the Lightfall expansion, which everybody hated. I liked it, but
you called it game of the year. One of your game of the year picks.
That raid is really fun. The concurrents were about 300K. Final Shape is about the same, 300K. Edge of Fate, which is like the new era one, which came out last year, the max concurrent is around like just over 100K.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people just liked Final Shape and were like, all right,
I thought,
see ya, Space Cowboy.
I really thought, like, this feels unfair to say, but I'm still say it. I thought from a proper planning perspective, for respect of the franchise and lore that you're working on, once you release the Final Shape, you just let it go. Because that just seems like the smart thing to do. Instead, they put it into zombie mode. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of like MMO type games that keep it going. An MMO I have north of, I bet if you check the stats, it would be somewhere around 600 hours, is Final Fantasy 14. Over the course of, like, since I was playing it on and off since 2012, Final Fantasy 14. And there is an absolute end to that MMO. It's Endwalker. And after I beat Endwalker and I watched the credits, had a single tear roll down my eye because the credits were really good, I uninstalled the entire thing and closed out my Square Enix account. They're still keeping Final Fantasy XIV going, but the numbers are nowhere near. And the last expansion that they released, called Dawn Trail, everybody hates it. Everybody hates it. Right. It's been kicking the servers square in the genitals. And they just announced another expansion coming out called Evercold. Someone showed it to me, and I thought, I really like the expansion.
Never
Heaven's
play.
Word. You read me. You get me. You get me. Yeah, thank you. I'll take that one. And it looked like it's giving me the same vibes of like Heaven's Word, which was the big expansion that made all the memes of like, did you know Final Fantasy Heaven's Word is like blah 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 blah. You've seen the meme. And I played Heaven's Word, and I really like Heaven's Word. I was like, oh, they actually figured out how to tell a story in an MMO. Oh crap, this is really, really cool. And I played it, I liked it, and I continued on. Evercold looks like it was giving me those same vibes. And then in the content patch, they said, by the way, to play Evercold, you have to play the entirety of Dawn Trail. And I was like, done. Nope. And now you're never gonna get my subscription. It feels like that sort of thing where Destiny's like, come on back. You still got to grind some light levels now. Now, hold on a sec. We're still going to make you grind. Back up.
Let's do it. Come on, let's do it.
Now we're doing some Star Wars stuff. I need you to be really cool with Star Wars right now, and like asking someone in year of your deity 2025 to be.
Yeah, let's do Star Wars. You know, after the most, you know, you need not. If you go find that podcast from however long ago.
The Rise of Skywalker podcast.
If
Our
anything,
4-hour diatribe
has only increased for that movie, which may be the most evil big studio project just like that has happened in the 19th, the 20th, the 21st century. I mean, up there with like Birth of a Nation as far as evil movies. Okay, you know what I mean. Don't get it twisted. All right.
We need you to be really, really cool with modern Star Wars because you have to play through that content to get to the new Destiny content, and there's a thing in gaming called the funnel. You're losing so many players through that funnel before you finally get like the actual sickos willing to stick around, and there's not enough of them.
Yeah.
And that sucks, and that's unfortunate, and that's... I gotta say this, there were some employees that were friends of friends. I will tell you this for free, they did not see those layoffs coming. They knew the company was in a bad spot. Mm-hmm. The best way to put it right now, and this is only like anecdotal reporting, so, you know, take this with a grain of salt. A lot of people working at Bungie right now, they have blinders on. They are only reading feedback from their community, and they're picking and choosing which community they're reading it from. And if it's positive, it's good. That gives them the bump they need, that they go heads down and they keep doing their day job. They're not reading the financial reports. They're not looking at CCUs or daily active users or monthly active users. They're not looking at any of that. They're like, nah, we're just doing our job. We're giving the players what they want. Some in the community are happy. Some are going to be unhappy. Everything's cool. And it's like, everything is not cool. And I feel like you're sleepwalking into like disaster. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how many people are going to get laid off. Like, we are recording this literally 2 hours after this was reported on by God King of games journalism, Jason Schreier. Long may he reign. But if it's something substantial like 200 people, which is possible, which would be 25% of their remaining studio, there is no Destiny 3. Like, get that conversation out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just going to have to hyper focus on Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's for the better.
In like, you know, in the immediate, like, short to medium term. Yeah. You know, and I think, like, to get into the, like, a little bit of the waxing poetic part, yeah. The funny thing, because it's like, as you're kind of talking about this, you're like, you know, this is a studio that's been... you know, like, poorly run and has made decisions that don't make sense. I'm like, that's Destiny, baby. That's the whole thing. That's part of playing Destiny is there are two wolves inside of you. Both are very stupid. They are one of them represents the destiny that will be. If they just do this one thing or add this thing, it will then be the destiny. It will finally be the perfect destiny. And then this metaphor is a little, you know, I've lost it a little bit. Stay with me. The other wolf inside of you, you know, that Lord Saladin would be very happy to hear that there are two wolves inside of you. Mm-hmm. The other wolf inside of you, you know, on the other hand, right? That's the destiny that is. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if I had spent more time kind of preparing this metaphor, I would have had a good, like, spiritual, like, kind of thing to connect the two of, like, what it philosophically means to be content with, like, one must imagine the Destiny player happy, Camus said famously.
Oh, I'm enjoying this metaphor.
Because, like,
it's silly.
You know, yeah, like, the whole time it's just like there was always some shit where it's like Pete Parsons and his million cars,
Jesus.
or
he's part of the reason why the company is on the
Yes.
rocks right now.
or
make no mistake.
the time that they made shotguns go in the heavy ammo slot instead of the special ammo slot.
The release
Just like
of Destiny.
the consumable banners,
2.
it's just like the whole time there's always been like, it's never been the perfect game. It's always been like, I'm not saying I like gross studio mismanagement that gets people laid off is cool or good or worth ignoring, obviously, but like all of that has been, it's just like funny that the entire time Destiny was never quite the thing it was, even from like Destiny 1, when that very first, even like when the demos of Destiny 1, people play the demo and they're like, wait, this is it?
Yeah.
Like way back in 2014.
Halcyon days.
Yeah.
When we didn't know what a Destiny was. And then you had that really cool raid called Vault of Glass, which angered people until it clicked. You're like, I see what you're trying to do. And this actually kind of rocks.
And now now that there's like, it's definitively over. And, kind of, especially now with like this Bloomberg stuff, like any sort of next Destiny project is very far away and is likely not going to be something you would call Destiny 3. And
Can I take that an extra step?
Yeah.
I since layoffs are on the table and we don't know how many, I really do think that for the sake of the studio, everyone is gonna I think they're going to try to do a Rainbow Six Siege for Marathon. I think they're going to refactor the hell out of Marathon, and they're like, listen, there are no wrong answers. I bet they're going to have this giant all hands with this digital whiteboard on the screen, and they're going to say there's no such thing as a bad idea because we need to make this work. Go.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to come up with some crazy stuff, and we might see it in there, and that might be great.
I think that would be really cool. Like, I understand why Marathon maybe did not hit the kind of big number splash that them and Sony was probably hoping for. But I do think it is also aesthetically and in gameplay is one of the coolest things that we have out there from a AAA studio in terms of an aesthetic that is I just want to look at these menus, or I just I think I made the point in our other podcast about Battlefield 6 is a perfectly fine video game, but just does nothing for me in terms of that I guess the imaginative aspect of it.
It's safe. It's a very safe video game.
Again,
purposely.
I don't want to it's Battlefield 6 is exactly what I asked for. And Marathon is something I don't think I could have even conceived of asking for. And I love it.
That's video games right there.
That's
video games.
It's something you don't know that you want, and that's what makes it cool. Until you see it. And then you're like, oh, fuck, this is sick. And more people need to take that leap, and I think finding more avenues for people to do that is cool and good, and they should do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as this is just the hobbyist, but hey, Bungie, we've got the damn Destiny cookbook. I know every video game has a tie-in cookbook. Okay, we know what's going on there. All right, let's not go buy a real cookbook. Okay, don't buy a video game cookbook. If a girl comes over to your house and she sees only video game cookbooks, that's a red flag. Get a real cookbook, please.
This is true.
I didn't even think of that until just now, but yeah, there's someone out there who only has video game cookbooks. Go buy a real cookbook. Those don't count. I'm sorry. It's just merchandise.
I'm curious what sort of recipes you've made out of the Destiny cookbook.
I don't have it actually.
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
Maybe it'll be cheap. No, who knows? Hey, they should make the Destiny TTRPG. Speaking of, Destiny speaking of like easier to put together Destiny projects. Hey, just
I'm gonna go one step further with you. Can I walk this line with you, but take it a step further?
Yeah.
I want a marathon TTRPG. I want that.
Yeah, Bungie, like everybody and their grandmother is getting into the TTRPG space. Like, I think you've got the enemy factions, you've got all the different classes and subclasses. It's right there. It's all right. It's. I think that would be like Bungie. You're probably not looking to hire people or anything, but I just think that's an interesting, underdeveloped area. I'm just like surprised something like they haven't put something like that together sooner. I mean, just like it's such an exploding area, and I feel like Destiny specifically maps onto that like super well. So, because I already even know that like there's like fan hacks or fan homebrew versions.
I was about to say there's got to be a couple
so,
homebrews of D&D 5e or something like that where it's just Destiny.
Sure, but absolutely. But like they should poke around with that. I guess like other thoughts, like kind of going back to my point about like there was always like the Destiny that you wanted it to be, that was just around the corner. But I'm not gonna lie, the Destiny 2 that we did get is really cool, and I think will always be like, again, as begrudging as Ray was about it, I do think we'll like. I would be surprised if there is, if at the end of my gaming days, whenever that may happen, if when I look back that like Destiny 2 is still probably not at the top of the list. Just because of like, I mean, the memories I made. Again, you can make memories playing, doing anything with anybody, but like,
sure,
there was like again, especially now with Destiny 2 having like an official end state. If you're ever Destiny curious, like, hey, there's probably gonna be a lot of people like diving back into this now that this is like gonna be like gone or done.
Absolutely.
There's officially like nothing of an end point. There's officially nothing else to learn. Like go play this, see what all the buzz was about. Do some of these old raids. God, like just like the way like you would be in these raids and like this, like when you are doing the run, when you finally like click and it just everyone's in sync. It's like it is harmonious elation that you feel. It is like indescribable.
Well, they're not shutting down the servers. Those raids will still be there. Yeah. Well, the raids that are still in the server infrastructure. So, like, I will credit Bungie for that. Like, you could play Destiny 1 right now. I think that deserves a lot of credit. I think that's really cool. So, you will still be able to still play Destiny 2. Now, will you be able to, like, blind matchmake with someone in Destiny 2 in about 1 year? No. Probably not. Probably not easily. I don't know. But you can still play with your friends, and I think that's awesome. I still have my issues that like the contents of the opening of Destiny 2 to have like, hey, how did Destiny 2 started? There was this thing long ago called the Red War. And then Bungie lost all the code for that. How do you lose the source code for the opening of your game?
I'm very prepared to argue about this.
Okay.
As someone who has before. This is just the kind of long tail of, again, studio mismanagement. Again, fork in kitchen when it comes to Destiny. This has been the story the entire time. And baby, we don't live. We have to win the lottery to go to the doctor. We don't live in the world with the perfect Destiny. We live in this one. Man. Keep up.
We have to win the lottery to go to the doctor. That is a ringing endorsement for Bungie as a studio.
Right. So, but
man.
yeah, so like, because when this game, because originally like Destiny 2, well, Destiny was like an Activision, because Bungie left Microsoft and then they partnered with like Activision. Activision said, you're making Destiny 2, and then then in 2 years from now, you're going to have Destiny 3 on shelves. And they made Destiny 2. People liked the initial campaign, found the end game like, because the gun rolls were static. So there was, once you got a gun, like that was it. There was no like loot chase really, because you're just like, well, I guess I'm done. Then the expansions did not hit super well. They like panicked and like pivoted into Forsaken, which like kind of reinvigorated the game again back in like 2018. Jesus, that was 8 years ago. Fuck.
Yes, it was.
Oh my god.
I have I have the disc of Forsaken around here somewhere.
Yeah. What do you even think that is going to happen? What even happens when you put that thing in? I don't even know.
Nothing. It loads the launcher.
Yeah. But like, I mean, that's the. But then like around, I think it happened around. I don't remember what these. My mind has no memory of these expansion names anymore. It's the one on the ice planet with the. Beyond Light. Beyond Light.
Beyond Light. Yeah.
Europa. Really cool raid in that one. Deep Stone Crypt.
I played some Beyond Light actually.
Raid. We should run some raids. Come on.
I have run several raids with you.
My wife's been wanting to get back into it. She's, I'll be kind of running her stuff. Come on, you could just download.
We could run a couple raids. It's fine. If they make me grind for light, I'm out.
No, I mean the old stuff. I think it's this year probably fine. Don't even worry. Don't sweat it. Come on, just install it. Let's just see what happens.
Oh, that's a beefy install, by the way. I saw one of my friends was reinstalling it. That is 160 gig download now. It's like, oh my god.
Just let's just see what happens. It's a little crazy.
We might do a raid. We might do a raid or two.
Mess around. Do a little raid.
I actually like Destiny 2. I have 180 hours in that game. I don't put 180 hours in the game.
Oh my god.
I don't put 180 hours into a game I don't like. Right. But what was the last one? What was the last update I played?
Witch Queen.
I think I did play a little bit of Witch Queen. I played the first couple of missions of it. I think I tried the raid of it with you guys. And then I said, okay, I think I'm done. And if you look on my Steam chart, the last time I opened Destiny as a file was 2022. It was February of 2022. I was like, okay, I've gotten everything I think I've needed out of this game. I hope everybody has fun. And I've been told to watch videos of the final shape. And one day I'll get to that. I'll just watch the ending of Destiny 2 just to see how it all wraps up into a bow.
It's very fun.
Stuff like that.
I
hope Shaq's skit does some cool shit. That's all I'm hoping for.
I think there's a bit in there. I forget what I was gonna say. What I was saying, but there's just so much about Destiny that I think is really special that I don't think anybody's quite hit yet. Again, it is at least for me, the marriage of the being a first person game that is just a mechanical video game language. A lot of its player base was already very familiar with, coming right from Halo. Combining it with really advanced kind of mechanical demands of again, that it is at its best in the the dungeons and the raids, which again have really cool storytelling and insane design. And just when all of that stuff pulls together, it's just there's just nothing else it is magic, and it just is so cool. Some of my favorite Like, I think some of my like favorite gaming moments ever was probably, I don't know if we did this one, Ray, but it's the Witch Queen raid, which is called Vow of the Disciple, which is where you like finally, because these like big like black obelisk pyramids have been kind of looming over the coming year, in the past years of the game. And they are finally here. And the raid is like, you finally go inside one of these pyramids and get to see what the aesthetic of all of it is inside. And it's completely alien to anything else you've seen in the entire game, because you know what, like, I know what the Vex look like, I know what the Elixir look like, I know what the Cabal look like, and then this year, like, this shit is weird and doesn't look anything like.
Oh, you still call them Elixir?
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not. We don't drop off the hard F on this podcast, okay?
All right.
Come on, trying to cancel me. Nice try. And then you see the final boss of that raid, and again, it is not anything that looks like anything from any of the other factions in the whole game. You're like, oh fuck! It's just, and the music is crazy.
I don't think I did this one. Yeah, I would have remembered this.
I think it is the best raid in Destiny, in my opinion. It just, like, aesthetically, mechanically, it's challenging. Everybody has to do something. Like, it's kind of demanding of everybody. There's no, like, I just kill guys role. Like, everybody has to do something. So it really feels really good when everybody, like, when it works.
Yeah.
And then just, like, the payoff, which is pulling in from, like, years of, like, storytelling and theme and, like, visual language. It's just, like, nobody else in games, at least for me personally, could cash these kinds of checks in pulling all that stuff together. And, you know, it had a lot of problems. Yeah, it had, like, the studio was never a great place to work for a lot of reasons. And the way this is ending, depending based on how it's gonna look like, is a real bummer. But, like, I you know, at least for me, this was some of, like, I think the absolute pinnacle of, I think, what you can do in this medium, and it just rocked. And I'm kind of bummed this is it. I kind of knew it was always going to happen at some point. I didn't think it meant that it was also going to be like, this is, you know, I always figured, like, Destiny 2 will have some kind of end, and that would be something else. But, like,
yeah,
maybe there's not. And it's a real bummer that it ended the way it did, and it deserved better. But Destiny deserving better has been the story the entire time. And
yes,
the Destiny that we have is pretty fucking good. And
can I go ahead and use an analogy that you'll be
Yes.
very familiar with?
Yes, please.
I was talking 2 nights ago with my wife, and she was telling me how much she hates Twin Peaks. And she hated the ending of season 2. And I was explaining to her, you know, she also watched the movie Fire Walk with me and decided that's the end of my watching of Twin Peaks. And from her perspective, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, I'd be pretty bummed about Twin Peaks if I stopped watching after Fire Walk with Me, which is one of the most, like, heartbreaking and painfully devastating movies to ever exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I explained to her that the ending of Twin Peaks season 3, and I won't give away any spoilers for people that haven't seen it. I borrowed the Blu-ray set from Mike, and he got to watch his Blu-ray set, which comes in a really funky box, by the way. The ending of Twin Peaks season 3 is kind of like the director David Lynch telling you, the watcher, like, I didn't want to do a season 3. But I'ma do it because people want this, so here it is. Here's what you wanted. Is this what you wanted? Because sometimes there's no such thing as a happy ending.
Mm-hmm. It's
the
awesome
ending.
because, like, you get the happy ending, and then you're like, wait, why is there one more episode?
Oh,
You're like, oh man, that's not. Wait, why is that diner? That's not the Double R diner. Wait, what is? Oh.
And that's
Sometimes
beautiful and
you think,
horrifying in its own
you
way.
know,
Yeah.
It's awesome because like, we can't get off on a Twin Peaks rant here, but like, you spend the whole time wanting Coop to come back, and then he does, and then you're like, hey Coop, maybe you shouldn't mess around with things that you don't understand. It's not our business as humans to understand that, and we need to embrace the mystery of what awaits us in the future. And some people can accept that, and some people can. And
couldn't leave
it's
well
happening
enough
either way,
alone.
baby. So strap in.
Yep. All right, but that was
Twin Peaks. Check it
is
out,
so
folks.
far. First 2 seasons are really good. The movie is
Essential.
you have to. It's essential if you want to watch season 3. And season 3 is a trip, especially
Masterpiece.
episode 8.
Yeah, let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Masterpiece of American television. There you go. See, brother. You know, I've been like floating around like the idea of like when we were like more prompt about like doing our TV show watches. I'm like, how do I
have one, by the way.
How do I trick? Ooh, okay, nice. How do I trick people into like? Because I feel like all of Twin Peaks felt like too big of a commitment. But
Season 2 is too big. Like, it's not good.
but it's essential, unfortunately. But like, what the Wyndham Earl
Some
sticking a
plot
guy in a
points are
giant chest
essential.
piece is not doing for you, and
The Civil War reenactment, not doing it for me. No, actually. Yeah. I could have done without several hours of that, actually.
and James going on like whatever his like noir side quest is,
Yeah, just like
making the
the
same.
whole thing. What's the name?
Base.
Nancy with the eye patch. Just
she gets like
reverting back to-
superpowers all of a sudden. Season 2 is crazy. Okay, maybe you might be onto something there.
It's a little nuts. It's a little
And
nuts.
then,
Season 1's really good
then
though.
the lady like doing some like very uncomfortable disguising herself as like an Asian man. Oh boy, you know,
Yeah,
I forgot. Yeah, wait a minute.
yeah. I don't know
I
about
love
season
it.
2.
I love you, Twin Peaks season 2. If Twin Peaks season 2 has no defenders, I am dead. I am gone from this
I
earth,
have one defender.
and my ghost has not revived me by choice.
I have an idea for you, Josh, and myself for the next TV show we want to do. I've had it in my head for like a year, and I'm really excited, and I think you're all going to dig it.
Sick.
It's really short, too. It's only 12 episodes.
Hey, look at that. See, Twin Peaks violated the kind of episode count rule we kind of roughly have, so I'll work on it. I'll workshop it.
Thank you very much for listening. This has been Unscripted Gaming. If you want to see our opinions, which we barely ever share on Blue Sky, go to Unscripted Gaming on Blue Sky. If you want to actually check out our different podcasts, please go to unscriptedgaming.com. We have a website. It gets updated. There are different sorts of podcasts there. There are literally, quite literally, thousands of hours of entertainment on there. And you can live watch shows with us. Do you want to live watch Gurren Lagann with us? By all means, do it. You want to live watch Evangelion with us, which are episodes that constantly get people reviewing and leaving comments on and being very pissed off that I just don't like certain characters. And one person got really pissed off at me for my interpretation of Rey. I see you. I don't care. I'm right. Rey is hardly a person. Go to unscriptedgame.com. You can
She's a
go
mom.
to that list.
You know,
She is, and she's mom. Yeah.
moms are persons.
Which,
Wait, before I get. Wait.
wait, no!
Wait.
SpongeBob. Wait!
Wait.
Thank you very much for listening. My name is Ray.
My name is Mike.
Peace.
Eyes up, Guardians.